With Genene gone from the hospital, the strange death suddenly came to a halt. But Genene was not done yet. In August 1982, Genene took another job, this time at a pediatric clinic in Kerrville, a town of 22,000 people, about an hour north of San Antonio. She worked as a nurse to a young doctor called Kathleen Holland. Kathleen had just opened her own clinic, and Genene was among the first nurses she hired. Within days of the clinic opening, mysterious emergencies and deaths started plaguing the place.
And in a period of 1 month, 8 kids had 9 separate emergencies and were rushed to the ER because they had stopped breathing.
Many of these kids came into the hospital with very minor issues like colds or routine checks, and ended up at the ER, unable to breathe. But somehow, Genene would be there for them and save their lives just in time. That's right, this time Genene was playing the hero. Except when she didn't.
I think with Chelsea, so one of the things I get the most frustrated about is trying to visualize her as an adult, but she'll always be that. You know, she will always be that age.
Chelsea McClellan was 15 months old when she came into the Kerrville clinic for a routine checkup. Within hours, she was gone, with her mother Petty by her side. Petty was in the same room with Genene and Chelsea when Genene said she would administer routine shots to Chelsea. Then Genene shouted,
"She's not breathing.
She's not breathing.
Yeah.
We've got to do something now."
Yeah.
They all rushed with Chelsea to the Kerrville hospital. But as Petty was standing by her daughter, Genene injected her with something. A second dose of succinylcholine. This is a very strong muscle relaxer, sometimes used during anesthesia, as it paralyzes all muscles in the body. When Chelsea arrived at the hospital, an emergency code was called over the hospital's loudspeaker. One of the first doctors to respond was Dr. Frank Bradley, an anesthesiologist. When he saw Chelsea, he said it looked like she was coming out of succinylcholine.
Creepy urban legends you didn't know about. Ghostly nurse of Bexar County, San Antonio, Texas. Genene Jones, born July 13, 1950, is an American serial killer. Responsible for the deaths of up to 60 infants and children in her care as a licensed vocational nurse during the 1970s and 1980s. In 1984, Jones was convicted of murder and injury to a child. She had used injections of digoxin, heparin, and later succinylcholine to induce medical crises in her patients, causing numerous deaths. The exact number of victims remains unknown. Hospital officials allegedly misplaced and then destroyed records of Jones' activities to prevent further litigation after Jones' first conviction. "I haven't let a damn soul, I always cry when babies die," said Genene Jones. "You can almost explain away an adult death. When you look at an adult die, at least you can say they've had a full life. When a baby dies, they've been cheated. They've been cheated out of a hell of a lot."
A nurse sworn to save lives, but instead, Genene Jones became the angel of death. During the 1970s and 1980s, Genene Jones worked as a pediatric nurse in Texas. A nurse turned killer and a legacy of terror in pediatric care. Want more stories of infamous inmates? Follow for more.
You have to hear about this. We are 9 female serial killers away from the #1 female serial killer of all time. Can you guess who they are? Let's get into number 9. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Genene Jones. Genene Jones was born on July 13, 1950, in San Antonio, Texas. There isn't extensive publicly available information on her childhood, but her later actions as a nurse gained notoriety for criminal activities. Genene Jones is a former pediatric nurse who was convicted of murdering a number of infants in her care during the 1980s. Genene Jones was initially caught in 1985 after being suspected of injecting infants with drugs at a hospital in Texas. She faced charges related to the deaths and injuries of several children. However, her legal proceedings continued for many years, and in 2017 she was indicted on new charges related to the deaths of 5 infants in the 1980s. Jones received a 99-year prison sentence for one case and a 60-year sentence for another. If you found this video interesting, like, share, and follow, because we have 8 more female serial killers to go, and they just get more interesting. Who do you think is number 8? Leave your comments below. Let's see who's right. Until next time, stay tuned.